Hi. Well, it's date night, and we're trying to line up a date night, and got my laptop here, and I'm cruising for chicks. First place I'm going, this is a place I recommend highly. This is called Hospice Hotties. And I'm going to check in there, see if I made anyone's bucket list. Okay, Hospice Hotties. And hospicehotties.com, and yeah, okay. I hit pay dirt. This is a good thing. And let me just check something here. Just a little too late. See, that's the thing. When you go to Hospice Hotties, you gotta move fast. You gotta check your status every day, because you made someone's bucket list. There's an expiration date, and it sometimes they expire a little. You know, it's you think you can't delay. Yeah. Yeah, she was very beautiful. I'm gonna just see if she's got any sisters. She's got some pretty friends. She does. I wonder if any of them are unmarried. Yeah, I wonder. I might go to her wake. I might. She's got some beautiful friends. Yeah, they're gorgeous. Okay. Yeah. See, when you go to hospicehotties.com, you gotta. It's like speed dating on a different trajectory. You gotta move, and the nice thing about the Hospice Hotties is those gals. They're on their own deadline themselves, not to try to make any unnecessary puns. But I mean, they're working fast too. They move fast. You get my drift, And you made that bucket list. You're in for a treat. Yeah, it's a good thing. And I'm sorry I missed that one. She was what was her name? Yeah. Yeah, I hope she's rest. And let me go to this other site. This is fatbroads.com, and I need to stop for a second and just say something in defense of fat broads. If it wasn't for fat broads, I wouldn't get any dates at all. And well, I mean, the Hospice Hotties, that they some of them. Most of them aren't really very chubby. They're kind of by the time they go to the hospice, they slim down a little bit, and but that's a little bit different. I mean, that's not. It's kind of like ordering an exotic vegetable that's only in season for a few days every year, and you go to the you go shopping at the grocery store on the wrong day, and you come back and all that exotic vegetables gone. If they cleaned it out of the produce section, it's gone. It's only there a few days a year, and it's gone. Hospice Hotties is like that. There's no long-term relationships with Hospice Hotties, and there's not. It's you move fast. They move fast. Everything moves fast. It's a fast-moving world, and you just got to make sure you get on that bucket list. Yeah. But I wanted to, before I go to this fatbroads.com, I wanted to say something in defense of fat broads, since that's 99% of my dates, and well, when I have dates, and I want to say a few things in defense of fat broads. I do. One thing, I think fat broads are a lot better than the women who starve themselves, like the Karen Carpenter skin and bones, 5'9", 89 pounds, kind of woman who's, I can't eat anything because I'm too pure to eat. Fat broads are better than them, I think. I do. And I would rather date a fat broad than a woman who's vomiting all the time. I would, because if you've ever prepared a nice meal for a lovely lady and she goes and spits it into your toilet right afterwards, it's not a pleasant feeling. And I know some guys are into that whole, I want to keep this family rated. They have their own individual taste revolving in the return engagement of the evening dinner. You know what I mean? I'm not one of them. See? So I'd rather, if I want to be feeding a broad, I want her to digest the food I give her. I don't think that's too much to ask. So the thing about fat broads, you can just count on them eating whatever you feed them, and then digesting whatever they've eaten, and I'm good with that. I'm okay with that. There's a few things. I say the only thing sometimes when there's like 6 things. It's something I do. One of the things, I'm just going to scratch. Hold on. Okay. That wasn't a bad scratch. That was a delicate scratch. I wanted to say something though about fat broads. I wanted to say a few things about fat broads. I could talk about fat broads all evening. I like fat broads. I do. One thing I do wish they would understand about us, though, understand about men who love fat broads, is that even though we love them just as much as we love any other women, we're still going to laugh when they slip on the ice, and their feet go out from under them, and they hit the ground with a thud, and it cracks the ice, We're going to laugh, It's not like we don't love them. We love them all the more when you hear that kapow. And we're gonna laugh when they fall down the stairs. I think everyone is. If it's not the stairs isn't the Empire State Building. If it's just like a little deck or a porch or something like that, well, they fall down that, then we're gonna chuckle. Who isn't? And what some women have to understand is maybe we wouldn't laugh as hard if it was a shapely woman whose feet came out under her on the ice, or if it was a real shapely broad who fell down a small flight of stairs. That we wouldn't laugh as hard, or if we would laugh at all. But you don't have to personalize it. It's there's something funny about a fat broad falling down. It's and even guys who love fat broads don't mind seeing them fall. There is that angle. It is just something. And I want to reassure all the rotund women out there that we really love you. We do, and I know there's this one. Big beautiful woman I know, she said something to me once, and it stuck with me. She said, which would you rather take to bed? Would you rather take a pillow or a 2x4? And I said, honey, I'd rather take the pillow to bed. And what I didn't tell her though is that if a 2x4 fell out of a hammock, it wouldn't be as funny as a pillow falling right out of a hammock. You know what I mean. So I think most men can understand the way we're wired, but I don't know if women necessarily understand that. They tend to personalize things, and they can be all irrational most of the times. But I like fat broads, and yeah, I remember seeing a bumper sticker, "No fat chicks." Well, that's not my philosophy. I say, bring on the fat chicks, and bring on the fat broads, and we do need some clarification, though. The one thing about the fat broad concept, is it does seem to be an evolving paradigm. The chubby girl of yesteryear is now not the chubby girl. She's the normal sized girl of today. And the mortally obese woman of yesteryear is now the girl next door. And when we say we love big, beautiful women, women have to understand that there might be an upper limit to that. You know what I mean? 200 does not equal 400. 400 does not equal 600. 200 don't equal 600. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. And we've settled into the BBW, big, beautiful women concept. We were okay with that. We're accepting. We've learned to love it. The more the cushion. I won't keep it family oriented. Let me just have a little sip. Just a little sip here. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Yeah. The more the cushion, it's like even Spinal Tap. They took that and made that into a song, and we like fat broads. We do, and but they got to understand, BBW, big beautiful women, is not the same as the XBBW, the extra big beautiful woman, okay? And the XXBBW and the XXXBBW. Catch my drift? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you still got to put the Doritos down sometime. The nachos with the extra sour cream. It's not. There are still some things that you have to keep an eye on. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad we have that settled. It it is funnier if a pillow falls out of a hammock. If the pillow breaks the hammock, that's very tragic. You don't want to see any bodily injury to the pillow, but I mean, especially if like the foot ends breaks before the head part, and they just kind of swoop that way, then I think most people are going to find that amusing. That's one of those universally humorous things. It's something I think we can all enjoy. And I'm gonna give me a date one way or another. Let's leave the fat broads behind for a second. There's this one site. I keep coming back to it, and I'm not going to tell you the name of the site because they don't want to give me an endorsement, and I understand all that. They don't want to give me an endorsement. I ain't giving anything to the site. But there's a woman here. I think it's a woman. I do. It's either a woman or it's a North American snapping turtle, one or the other, and she does have her webcam up, and it's a little bit murky, and I've been here before, and I'm playing a little bit hard to get with her, but if she is a woman, I'm going to have me a date in the very near future. I'm looking at her, right? That's if she's a woman. Yeah. Because I won't date a snapping turtle. I won't. I'm not that kind of man. But I think I'm looking at her right now, and I'm looking at her on her webcam. I can tell you her wherever she's residing is a very muddy kind of interior. It's and her webcam's not very high resolution, so I can't say definitely if that's a woman or a snapping turtle. But she is chewing on a piece of dead fish, and it looks to be like a freshwater carp. Looks like to me, which leads me to bring. Most women I know don't just gnaw on freshwater carp. They would probably cut it up and cook it first if they were to even eat a carp. I don't. Where I come from, there's some people, some ethnic groups like to eat carp, and some ethnic groups prefer not to eat carp, and it's always going to be. Well, she's, but even then they usually cut and clean and cook the carp. They don't eat it in this fashion, and when I see that, I sometimes think that maybe she's not a woman, you know. And she's devouring that fish. I mean, she's going to town, and she's ripping large pieces of flesh from the carcass, and she doesn't appear to have any teeth. But turtles don't have. I mean, turtles, they don't have teeth. So if it's a snapping turtle, and I'm probably not going to have a date this coming weekend. I probably won't, but let me just send a little message to her. I'm not going to tell you what I'm saying right now. I'm just going to send something to her and see what. Yeah, let's see who else is in that. Oh yeah, there's the bearded lady, and maybe if I had a heavier beard, I would appreciate bearded women a little more. Maybe, but it makes me feel self-conscious, and when a woman has a heavier beard than I do, and there's that. Yeah, there's that pirate wench. She that's a real hooked hand that she's got. I don't know, given the prosthetic devices that are available these days, I don't know why she would still. I know it's part of the creative pirate subculture, the whole I'm a hooked hand, but I'm going to try and keep this family oriented, but there are some prosthetic devices these days that are soft and tender, and let's just leave it soft and tender, and can do things that the original human design could not do. See, and I'm gonna keep this family oriented and just leave it at that. Except, why would you want a hooked hand in this day and age? I don't think I want to date her. If she has a hooked hand by choice, see, I don't think she'd be very tender in the bedroom. Yeah, I don't think she'd be tender in a lot of areas, but she's picking her teeth right now with her hooked hand, and I can see where that would come in useful. And see that's sharp. That sucker is sharp. And she's got a really good mount, because there's a lot of prosthetic devices. It's hard to keep it securely fastened to the stub. But I mean, oh my goodness, she's got it locked into a it's on a chin-up bar, and she's she's doing chin-ups with that hook. I I've never seen anyone do quite like that before. It's usually if you have a attached prosthetic device, you got to be careful. She's doing a lot of chin-ups. I don't think I want to date her. No, she's not if she's got a hooked hand by choice when she could have a much friendlier prosthetic device. Much friendlier. I'm sorry. I'm going right back to Swamp Girl. That's who she calls herself. She's Swamp Girl 123. She hasn't answered my personal message. She's man, she's devouring that fish. That's a good sized fish too, and she is just taking that thing apart. You know, if that is a woman, she probably wouldn't require a lot of food. You know, especially, I mean, that's not even that's not a fresh fish. That's a carp that looks like it's been decaying in the water. I can see that sort of resolution. There's things growing on the flesh, and she's just tearing right into that. And yeah, she looks up. She's looking at the screen now. She's taking a little break. She's swallowing a large chunk of dead carp. I think she saw my personal message. Yeah. And she's stepping up to the keyboard. Well, she's not stepping up. She's crawling on her belly to the monitor, and she's typing. She's typing something. Yeah, let's see. You know, there are a lot of fat broads here too. That's something. I mean, they're everywhere these days. You go see cheerleader squads; they got a lot of fat broads on them. They're just yeah. It's a good thing I like fat broads. I'll tell you, that's a good thing I like fat broads because they're everywhere. All right, this. Okay, she's sending me a message. How are you? Well, I mean, after I send her a message like that, I expect. I didn't tell you what I said, but I expect more than "How are you?" Yeah. I'm just gonna say something here. How's the carp? Question mark. Yeah. She PM'd back to me. Very tasty. Oh. She's sending me. It says she's typing. Do you like raw carp? You know, I'm just going to. I believe honesty is the. Well, it's not the best policy, but you got to be. It's not. I believe feigned honesty is probably the best policy. Truth be known, I'm just going to say yes, though. I am. Because I'd like to have a date this weekend. If that's a woman, you know. Hold on just a second. Yes. Send that baby out of there. Yeah. She's gonna go ahead and type me something now. She just typed me a message. Would you like to meet somewhere for a frog? For a frog. See, I have to admit, I had my hopes up. I did. I thought that was. I don't think that's a woman. I don't think that's a woman at all. I think that's a North American snapping turtle, and I had my hopes up once more, and it might be a woman. I'm just gonna say maybe. she might be a woman after all, because I do see, if she is a woman, I mean, one thing, she's got a really long neck that extends from her torso. And that can retract into her torso. That's one of the physical characteristics. I mean, I find that, I think it's attractive, physically attractive. I do. I think it's very sexy. But it's, if she is a snapping turtle, hold on just a second. Send me a message. Oh, she's asking if I want to meet somewhere. What I'm going to say, make it hypothetical. If we are to meet, where would we meet? See, that's gonna explain a few things. And, this is I know one thing about North American snapping turtles is they can't type very well, and their language skills are limited, and she's she says all sorts of things here. Hold on just a second. Your swamp or mine? See, I haven't had that kind of offer in a while. It's a long while. Nice ones. Yeah, swamp. I guess. How am I gonna fake? See, I'm gonna. She's gonna come to the realization I don't have a swamp. And I don't live in a. Well, I think I've told her that I live in a house. I live in a house. Send that one out. I do not reside in a swamp. Here we go. See, there we go. And that's we're just going. I sometimes think I should just leave the site and let it go, because every time I come back to her, I always talk to Swamp Girl every single time, and maybe. I know she talked to some of the other ladies here, and I always just end up talking to Swamp Girl, because I think I got a better chance of dating her than I do some of these other ladies. I do. I don't know why. I think she. Let me see. She's sending me a personal message here. Do I like to eat tadpoles? Well, I've never eaten a tadpole. That's something I've never done. And I'm not going to misrepresent myself. Yes. Let's see where that goes, I've never eaten a tadpole before, and you got to be careful. You got to be selective when you're telling lies. You do. You got to be very selective. You can't. There's this woman I used to know. I remember she said something once. She said, "You think I'd waste a lie for that?" And I knew exactly what she meant. Like, you got to choose your lies carefully. You don't want to lie all the time. You don't want to be a compulsive liar. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to lie every time you're 2 minutes late for work. You got hit by a train or something. And she said it perfectly. She said, "You think I want to use one of my lies for that?" I knew what she meant, And but I never ate a tadpole before. That's something I'd never done. Hold on just a second. Well, now she's crawling away from that screen, and I don't think she went well. Oh. She's crawling back with something in her mouth that appears to be a tadpole. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ooh. And, I think I might just have me a date this weekend.